What's up, fam bam? Welcome back to Killhut 702's Adventures and Explorations. We are on another awesome adventure today. We're going to take a tour of the Old 100 Gold Mine out in Silverton, Colorado. That's right, Silverton, Colorado. It is beautiful up here. We're gonna go ahead and head through. We're gonna jump on this little train cart and head down into the mine and see what it's all about. So let's head on down, fam.
You won't see me stop, no, you won't see me quit. I'm gonna make it to the top if it's the last thing I did. Never catch me, man, I'm gone, cause I'll be working off the grid. Grinding through all the pain, I said I'd do it, and I did.
Guys, come on out, watch your step on the way down, alright? We're gonna circle up that way.
It's gonna take us a minute, so. You guys go, it will take us.
What up, fam bam?
My name is Greg. I'll be your tour guide for this hour. I'm going to show you what it was like to mine back in the day and in modern mines today. I'm going to show you what one mine shift was consisting of, both in early 1900s and in modern mines. So one mine shift is drilling, blasting, and clearing out rocks. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you today. Now when you're in here mining, you're looking for a vein. That vein is white quartz. That's where you're going to find all of your precious metals. So in this mine we had gold, silver, copper, lead, and zinc. Now most of the gold and the silver was found up top. As you work your way down, you got less and less gold. It was more lead and zinc, two of the least profitable metals that you can mine out of here. So we started in 1904 at the very top of this mountain. They drove in their first drift. And like I said, they were finding more gold up at the very top. They got down here in 1968 with the Dixieland Mining Corporation. They put in $6 million into this level right here, and they did not get anything out of it. So they shut down, and this sat still from about 1968 all the way to about 1991. We were looking for a place to give tours, something that was accessible by road and by foot traffic in here. We found this mine in 1992. We gave our first tour, and we have been giving tours ever since. Now, touring has actually been more profitable than it was a mine. So, kind of give you an idea of what it was like. So, like I was talking about just a minute ago, you're looking for that white quartz. So what you do is you send a prospector on the outside of the mountain. He's going to be looking for an outcropping. Outcropping is when white quartz shows on the outside of the mountain, and that's where you start drilling in and pulling out your rock. And that vein looks like this right here. So up top you can see all that white quartz. Down here there's some shiny stuff. That is iron pyrite, also known as fool's gold. I call it almost gold, even though it's not. So that's what we're looking for. When we're in here, you drill that, blast that out. The miners do not sift through any of the good stuff or the bad stuff. It all goes to the mill, and the mill processes everything, the good and the bad. And when I say bad, I'm talking about rocks like this over here. This is, there's nothing in it, really. It's mostly just granite. So it's not really used for anything except for maybe countertops in modern day. You guys have any questions about anything before we get started?
How far down are we?
So we came uphill, actually, and we are in about 1,500 feet, so a third of a mile. And we came up about a 3% grade. That's why you'll see water, it's all running downhill. All right, guys, so we're gonna get started. Give you a little bit about myself. I am 22 years old. I got out of high school and I went right to college, so I never went into the mines. All of my knowledge comes from family members that have lived here and have worked in coal mining and gold and silver mining. So I've had uncles, grandparents, great-grandparents, all that. They've all been in gold and silver mining, so everything I teach you guys today is everything that I learned from them. All right? You guys have any questions before we get started? All righty. We're going to head this way. We'll get started with our drilling station right this way. About where my light is there. Perfect. All right, guys, come on, squeeze in just a little bit more. That way everybody in the back can see. All right, so I know we went over some rules on the train ride in. I have my own 2 personal rules throughout this entire tour, and they're both very simple rules. First one is, I like to get kids up front, so I know we have a pretty big group, so there's going to be some times where it's a little bit tighter, so I want to make sure kids are up front so that they can see. And the second rule, you have to have fun. Okay? If you don't have fun, I will take you down that drift right back there, pitch black, and it goes back for about a mile. We'll leave you back there. Okay? All right. When we started mining, we were starting to drill holes, and that's what this station is right here, okay? This is all drilling holes, and that is to load that hole with dynamite and blast the rock. And back in the day, they had 2 very simple ways of drilling holes, and this is the first one right here. Okay, this is single jacking. This takes 1 miner. He's going to take the steel, put that on the rock, and then you take your single jack, you hit it, you give it a 1/4 inch turn, and then you hit it again. And you give it another 1/4 inch turn, and you keep going. And that's how you start getting your hole.
Why a 1/4 inch turn?
Yeah, that's a good question. Why a 1/4 inch turn? That keeps that steel from getting stuck in the rock. If it were to get stuck, you're going to spend the rest of your day trying to get it out. Or you go to your shift boss and you tell them I messed up, and then you pay $5 for a new steel. That was a lot of money back then. They were only making about $1, maybe $1.50 a day. So $5 steel was a lot. Now when you're in here, this is about what a mine shift would look like, right? 30 people. This is about, I think we've got about 30 here with some kids. So you're in here going to be working with a lot of your family members. So brothers, uncles, cousins, dads, grandparents, whatever. Your big family usually. And that's when you start coming up with this one right here, okay? This is double jacking. This takes 2 miners. This right here is a very trusting activity. All right, guys ready? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Right. There we go. Yeah, miners just right here. Right, so this was nice. The problem with this machine right here is that it was called a widowmaker. And they call it that because when you drill in your hole, there's dust that flies out of that hole, and the miners breathe that dust in, and it starts to tear up their lungs, and it causes silicosis. So miners were dying at a really early age, late 20s, early 30s usually. And then they added water to this machine right here. So water's going to run through the drill head, down the drill bit. And then they have a small hole at the end of the drill bit that the water shoots out of, and it mixes in with that dust and it creates a mud. This is your drill bit right here. And in the center are your holes where that water shoots out of. All right, so you're going to keep this on the end down there. This is going to push you into the rock. In modern mines today, we use this drill that's off to my right over here. This is called a jackleg. And this takes one miner to run it. That miner can lift the drill head in and out of that hole. You can get a 6-foot hole in just about 30 to 40 minutes. Much faster. And like I said, it is what we use in all active mines today. Guys, I'm going to run this one for you as well, show you what that sounds like. It's just as loud as this first drill, so again, I do recommend kids covering your ears, okay?
That was cool.
Let's take a nice big deep breath in, right? All together, ready? What's that smell like? Yeah. You know what that's called? Money. Yeah. If this machine is making that smell, you know you're making money, right? All right, guys, this crazy stuff behind me here is basically how we move from level to level. This mine right here has 7 levels. We're standing in level 1. The level above us is 2. All the way at the top in 1904 was level 7. They started up there, worked their way down, but then they would need transport between levels. It's about, like I said, 600 feet. So that's a pretty steep height. So they built this. This is a shaft right here. This is going to take you straight up to the level above us, 600 feet up. This is where those vertical drills are going to come into place, right? This is how we start drilling to blast all this rock out of there. Obviously, back then, they also don't have phones. We don't have walkie-talkies. And you don't need much reception down here anyway. So they have one very cool way of communicating between levels. And I'm going to talk about this bell right here. Right? So you have a bell down here, and you would have it attached to some string. So when you pull the string, it rings the bell. That is going to let the person know down here that they are ready to go to the next level. The person down here could be mostly women in the mine. So if there were any, this is their job, to be listening for the bell and to transporting men from level to level. The way that works is it'll be a shaft like this here, and it'll have a pulley system that comes down, and it's attached to a tug right there. So when they're on and they're ready to go, then they'll just ring that bell, and now the miners are ready to go, and they'll start going up to the level above us. You guys have questions on that? All right. Does anybody know what this is right here? Any guesses?
You got it? That's what the money is.
That could be where the money is. That right there is oxidized copper. So obviously copper, when it's mixed with water, turns this nice bluish green color. It hasn't oxidized as long, that's why it's not as green color, it's more of a turquoise. But the cool thing is, the more you look around, the more you'll see it.
Yeah.
All the way around here. Yeah. Got a bunch of it. It's not really worth mining out, there's not much there, and it's oxidized, so it has kind of turned its compound a little bit. So it's not really worth taking out, putting the equipment, paying the men and all that to come in and mine it out. If you want to take a look down here and then head on down just before you get to that curved fence. Take a look down this drift here. It goes 1 mile back, just like our other drift. Then if you're not on the bottom, put it down there too.
This is pretty cool. Smash that like button. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Subscribe if you're new to the channel.
If you guys want to kind of squeeze your way in over here, That way you can see the action. This machine is not loud, so kids, you don't have to worry about covering your ears. It's just a bunch of air blowing out of there. Right, that cool looking machine that we just walked by over there, that's a rock chute. The rocks are going to come from the level above us to this level. You park your ore car underneath, flip the lid open, and then the rocks will fall into that ore car. And you take it outside the mine to the mill. The mill is going to process all of that rock. This one right here is if we have no level below us, like this, like we're on right now. This bucket will run down and scoop the rocks up, and it'll put it into a nice pile, so that this nice yellow machine behind me over here will be able to pick up those rocks that are in the pile. So guys, I'm going to show you what this machine looks like. It's not that loud again, it's just a bunch of air blown out of there. But if you want to plug your ears, you are more than welcome to. So again, that's going to pull rocks into a pile so that we can use this machine behind me to remove the rocks from the mine. Now if we want to work our way down in front of the yellow machine, I'll show you this one. And you guys are good. We're going to have to stop at this fence line just in case. Guys, back in the day, we didn't have the machines that we had to clear out, right? And this is the only way we could clear rocks. 22 tons of this is cleared by shovel, so that's quite a bit, pretty rough. About 1940s, we started using this machine right here. This is an Elco 12B mucking machine. This is what we use in all active mines today. This machine is going to run down on the rail from the pile of rocks. It's going to scoop the rocks up into the bucket. The bucket comes up and over, dumps it into the ore car, and then back down. This is a wonderful piece of machine. This is my second favorite machine in the entire mine. Here in just a few minutes, I will show you my first favorite. This holds a very close second. I'm going to run this machine for you guys, show you what that sounds like. It is just as loud as those drills. So again, if you have kids, I do recommend covering your ears, or you can move down the drill. We'll do that as well. All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. Alright guys, this bucket and this whole machine can move from side to side. So it's going to help pick up all the rocks on the side of the rail. Back when we were blasting our hole, remember I said we need 8 feet by 8 feet? This is why. We need 8 feet to swing around and 8 feet above us to dump that bucket. So if you're off to the side like this and you go to dump that bucket, you're off balance, and also you're going to miss your ore car completely. You want to make sure you're lined up again with that rail. That keeps it from derailing, and you get a nice bucket into your ore car. Guys, I'm going to lower this bucket just a little bit. I'm trying to make it quiet for you, okay? Alright, you guys have any questions on this machine?
So they're still using that today?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they look looking nice and good. Yeah.
They just do one bucket at a time?
They'll do a few. So you'll have 2 sets of rail. You'll have the main one, and then you'll have a side rail. So you fill up one ore car, and then once it's full, you put it on the side rail, and you pull up another ore car. and then you just connect it like that. All right. What I have my light on here is the phone. So this is the phone that we would use if we're going to start to blast. You call out on this phone, let the entire level know that you're going to blast, and then everybody will be ready for it. This is also our emergency phone. We can communicate with the outside world if any of the emergencies happen in here. So it does work. You guys have any questions at all before we head out? That's for fun. All right, guys, if there's no other questions, then we're going to get loaded up in the 2 cars, and we're going to work our way out of here, okay?
All right, fam bam, I hope you guys all enjoyed that mine tour. That was pretty cool. Went on the little train going in there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you guys thought. Leave a comment down below. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you like videos like these. Make sure and check out all the other ones. It's time to head to the next location. But last, check out this view that's out in front of this place. I am living life right now. It's beautiful out here. Check this out. Isn't that beautiful? Look at those mountains. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.